We're here at the lodge setting up for tomorrow's Masonic family event. I'm with our Inspector Worshipful Romy Damiles, Inspector of 442nd Masonic District of California, and Worshipful Dan Moore from Smyrna Lodge with our Worshipful Master itself, Worshipful One Americana from Modesto Lodge 206, and our newly passed to the degree of Fel or of Brother Edmund Martinez. Here we go. So we brought some chips, breads, burgers, chili, grilled chicken. So I think that's it. See you tomorrow.
Okay guys, what time is it? It's a Masonic District Family Event time, May 14th, 2022, here in Modesto, California, Masonic Center, 800 Rose Avenue. It was the first ever Family Day event through our District 442, headed by our Inspector Worshipful Romy Damiles and the core of 442nd Masonic District. And I saw the Tin Lizzy group of Modesto Shrine Club already, and some brothers from different lodges. So stick around and enjoy the show later.
This one is mine, the red one here.
Oh, it is?
Yeah.
Last Wednesday, Tuesday we went to training. We took one and the
Yeah, we said it. Yep.
We were here last night.
You were here last night?
Yep.
Setting up?
That's Brother Steve, Worshipful Jake, our Worshipful Master, Worshipful One Americano, and Brother Edmund Martinez. That's Brother Oscar's Worshipful Romy's. That's mine. That's Worshipful Marshall's Brother Paul and Kuyang Arvin's. So we are the Tin Lizzy group of the Modesto Shrine Club. Good morning!
Is it a good morning?
Yep!
Can you guys hear me? Okay, you don't need our hearing aid, huh? Anyway, my name is Romy Damiles from Modesto Lodge 206, and today we will be having the district family event, which is, I believe this is the first time that happened in our district. So but I'm glad that we have several attendees. So we'll start with a prayer by Brother Eric Solomon.
Will everyone please be understanding and adding to the prayer? great architect and ruler of the universe, we reverently invoke thy blessing at this time. Grant us thine aid in our present undertaking, that all we may do shall be done with an eye single to thy service and to the good of Freemasonry. May those who are invested with the government and conduct of our Masonic family be endued with wisdom to instruct their brethren and sisters in their duties, and may they be continually guided by the unerring counsel which thou hast given in the great book of nature and revelation. May brotherly love prevail, relief and truth among the members of this lodge. May they be impressed with a comprehension of their duty to you and to each other. And this Masonic family may be the means of lasting good in this community. And to thee shall ascribe all the honor and glory. Amen.
So mote it be.
Thank you, Brother Eric. And now, the Pledge of Allegiance. Please remain standing, please. To those who are able. May Paul, worshipful Brother Marshall Colette.
Seems like Brother Eric did an exclamation prayer. I was like, Brother Master.
I'm just waiting.
The brethren, family, and friends, kindly repeat with me the Pledge of Allegiance to the flag of our country. I
Pledge of allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which stands one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. So, you may. Actually, we have Mr. Saul Stickerman that we're gonna let him talk later on. But before that, we will. I would like to call some of the concordant bodies who is here today. But also, I would like to acknowledge the presence of our Inspector at Large, worshipful family over there. And of course, to all of you, my brothers, sisters, ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much. Later on, Brother Wong will introduce his group later during the program. So, but anyway, the first one that I would like to call to tell something about their group, like the Eastern Star from Turlock, may call Mary Ella and her group to come forward and say something about what you got.
All right, ladies.
Good morning.
Morning.
We are with Eastern Star and Turlock. Our chapter is Wistaria, and we also have Tom Bacon, our chapter. He's sitting over there. We are one of your concordant bodies. We are initially started out in like 1860. Our core values are to work with our members and our community. And right now, Wistaria is a very active chapter. We are involved in a lot of our community events. In fact, you'll see a PowerPoint presentation highlighting some of the things. Most recently, we took a big 20-foot U-Haul truck and filled it up with goods, and after the victims of the Dixie wildfire were in need and the fires had quieted down, we said prayers weren't enough. God gave us action in our capabilities, and that's what we did. We filled that 20-foot U-Haul truck full of food and necessary items for students that had lost everything, as well as their parents who had lost all of their household goods. And we had so much, we overflowed into a pickup truck. We took it all the way up to Quincy and delivered it. More recently, we have done things with some of our local veterans. We had a Valentine's Day project where we delivered goodies to those people that had served our country. And many of them are homeless. Many of them are living in unfortunate circumstances, but then we have brothers that are very, very capable, and they're over with the VA Center. So we prepared over 500 goodie packages, and we were blessed to have some of our local schools participate. We've always tried to get partners involved with our activities, and they wrote awesome letters, which were very touching for our local veterans. We work with our patient comfort station, which goes beyond just helping our members that are suffering long-term, ongoing, and end-of-life events. We deal with hospice patients and give them quilts so that they can work through their sundowner syndrome and their fidget activities that they can't overcome. We work with children with autism, and we also deal with people that are suffering cancer and are going through dialysis treatment. Additionally, I don't want to forget anything. We support our Masons. We are very active with our Turlock Lodge, and I just want to, we are behind the scenes many times with food and with, we are very excited. We're going to be working with them on an upcoming widow's lunch. And we were asked, well, can the wives come? And we're like, absolutely. So we're using an outreach event that we came up with that we called our May Day Surprises, where we contact all of our members with goodies just to let them know, you know, you're an active part of our chapter. I say all these things because all of these ladies are involved in different ways. And let me introduce you. Virginia is one of our members. She is normally one of our refreshment chairmen. Our worthy matron, who's in charge this year, is Sterling Ridge. And then Pat New is one of the driving forces behind our patient comfort items. I came up with a lot of ideas, but they would not have happened without these ladies. We are very blessed that our membership is growing. We look forward to working with the Masonic family. We have an event coming up in Turlock. We're working right now with our Masons, and we're trying to do an open house much similar to yours. And we are, an idea. We're hoping to expand it so that it's during our farmers markets, so that we can have our Shriners come down and drive their weird tendencies, you know, and excite some of the kids, and then have our Jobs come upstairs and have a craft table. So I'm the Ideas Lady. I'm also the Grand Chapter Membership Chairman for our state. I feel very blessed, but number one, I'm an Astoria member, and that's what I'll go back to as soon as they take away this title. We would love to talk to you more about Eastern Star. Again, one of our biggest goals is to be involved in our community, and I just now, they don't even know it yet, I'll surprise them. Yesterday I talked to Gil Ogden of Turlock Unified School District, and for the 4th year we will be creating and sponsoring a drive pack drop-off of school supplies for our neediest kids, and he informed me that they have lots of refugees this year, and they're looking forward to that. So those are kind of some of the ideas. We come up with ideas, but it's not, they don't just stay ideas. We have wonderful, wonderful ways of putting them into action, and I think that gets us back out into the community. We've been recognized by our local newspapers as well as our local school district and social media, and we just hope that our energy and excitement and all of the good things, paying goodness forward, they just, you know, just keep populating themselves into the rest of the Star family. Oh yeah, you would call that the Masonic family. We call you our family. Okay, thank you, Romy. Anything else?
Thank you very much. And I think, Virginia, you want to say something?
Yeah, just a few words. I'm associate maker in Series chapter as well as belonging to Astoria, and Tom also belongs to Series. We're just now getting back from COVID being shut down so much. We lost quite a few members, but we meet twice a month. And our project now is, with the Masons, is we collect clothing, particularly we were doing jackets during the winter for the Salvation Army, as well as camp food items. And they like the industrial size because we're taking them to where they serve food to the homeless. And also blankets, and particularly twin size sheets for the homeless that they house. Anyway, we are just getting back into it because we were shut down so long with COVID. But we enjoy what we do.
Thank you very much. Ladies, thank you very much for all the efforts, for all what you do, and all your success and inspiring stories. Thank you very much. And before I forget, we're gonna have a pool tournament, dart tournament later on. We have some prizes for that, so anybody can join. So I may call now on Worshipful Jake Van Holland, our representative for the Amish Shrine here in Modesto Shrine Club. Worshipful Jake.
All right. Anyway, thank you, Romy. As representative for the Modesto Shrine Club and Omni Shrine, we provide free services for kids from birth to 18 with different problems. And if you cannot get there, we will provide transportation. So if you know a kid that has some kind of difficulty, bone defects, please get them to me, and we can get them to the Sacramento Shrine. The Shrine hospitals have 22 hospitals. We started back in 1922 in Shreveport, Louisiana. That was the first hospital. The Shrine has first supported polio, but after they got that under control, they decided to start the Shriners Hospitals. So, you see many Lizzies out there in the parking lot? That is the Modesto Shrine Club represented in the parades. We go to the parades, we have a good time. If you want to be a Shriner, you have to be a Master Mason in good standing. I got applications right there at my table, so if you'd like to join, come and see me. Thank you. All right.
Thank you, Worship. So, yeah, we can provide transportation with our mini Lizzies. So the next one that I will call is Brother Bong.
My son.
Yeah.
Brother Sal.
And please make an introduction. I didn't introduce your group because I don't know how to introduce it.
Okay. Okay. So, thank you for the invitation, Brother Romy, and the opportunity to speak to the brethren. My name is Bong Aralar. My mother lodge, Brother Sal and I is the mother lodge of San Francisco Lodge number 120. And we also represent other lodges in the San Francisco Bay Area. So we are here today to invite the brethren on behalf of San Francisco Lodge number 120 and 13 other Masonic lodges that are partnering with us on a picnic that we will be holding in San Francisco July 30th, 2022 at Westboro picnic area in San Francisco. It's called a Picnic for a Cause. It's a Masonic family event open to all Masons. And the beneficiary of this picnic redounds to the benefit of the San Francisco Scottish Rite Care Center, or the Childhood Language Center. CLC. Would you like to expand more a little bit, Brasa?
So I think you can hear me loud enough. So the purpose of our fundraising, since all the brothers the lodges are getting back together again, is to fundraise for the purpose of children that require speech therapy and that kind of this issues, and that's where the funding is going. It's a non-profit organization for the city of Scottish Rite, and that's where the money is going. And so please join us, as we have joined you today. Join us and celebrate Scottish Rite, CLC, and make your donations if you can join us. We welcome your donations. Also,
along those lines, and as far as donations are concerned, if you are donating funds, we are a 501c3, and it's tax deductible. We will issue a receipt for that. And barring that, really on a personal or even a large donation, we invite the brethren to basically join us. Your participation in the picnic is the Mason itself. So some of the course, the course is really 100% of that goes to the Childhood Learning Center.
And before we go, we also have a brethren that hails from Fresno, and for those who want to join Widow Sons, Robbie is the president of Widow Son International, and so he is also the contact to further explore your journey in Mason. Thank you very much. Would you like to say something? Okay. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much for your good calls, brother. And yes, I would like to acknowledge the presence of Robbie and Marian. You drove how many hours? 6 hours. And you from Fresno, I believe?
Above Fresno.
Yeah. Thank you for doing that. Thank you for coming here and join with us today. So, where's Brother Erin?
The kitchen.
So we will just, I know we get somebody. We have one more, and then we're gonna call Mr. Stone Silverman.
Hiya.
How are you doing?
Very good. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Take your time.
Bear with me. I have notes because I'll go on and on if I don't. So we'll keep it short and quick to the point. So my name is Hal. I'm a member of Morningstar Lodge in Stockton. Thanks for letting me be here. I'm one of the co-captains for the Delta Dogs Masons for Mits fundraising team. So if you don't know what Masons for Mits is, it is an annual statewide event with Northern California donations going to the Junior Giants Little League team. Those donations are turned into mitts that look just like this, right here, a good sturdy mitt for the kids. Kids who may not otherwise be able to afford one. And these aren't just starter mitts, these are good, solid Rawlings mitts, just like the big leaguers. And it carries the square and compass embossed on every mitt. In 2019, to give you some numbers, in 2019, 4,500 mitts were given to the Junior Giants Little League, the kids in the Junior Giants Little League. Of those, 778 of those mitts were distributed to kids who were in the Little Leagues in San Joaquin Valley in our region. So I think it's just a personal opinion that we should endeavor as brothers to pay for what we've used as a region. That would calculate out to $13,960 this year as a goal. Now, I'm going off of 2019's numbers because of what happened in 20 and 21, so those numbers aren't necessarily indicative of what we're capable of. So I went to the 2019 numbers. So how that broke down was Lathrop used 35 mitts, Tracy used 35 mitts, Modesto here used 80 mitts, Lodi took 289 mitts, Stockton took 339 mitts. So as far as where we're at, donations so far, statistics, the website shows that we as a region up here and the Delta Dogs team have donated funds equivalent to 111 mitts. But I know we've had more, and the reason why is because we've done our team math, minus the website donations that I'm not aware of. Let's see, how did I have this written? The Delta Dogs team region have donated about 190 mitts, or $3,800. So give yourselves a hand, brethren, for what you've done so far. $3,800 so far. And we're only a month and a half in. Good job. So, we have upcoming events designed to help get us there. Upcoming events include the Giants Baseball Masons Night. That's on the 28th. And you can go to masonsformits.org to buy tickets to that. Lodi Lodge is hosting a golf tournament on August 22nd. You can put that in your calendar at the Stockton Golf and Country Club. I'll see you there for that one. All proceeds from that golf tournament are going to the Delta Dogs Masons for Mitts tournament. So the next one, it's got a great name that we came up with, but it's going to be a good time. The set sail with the Grand Master on the San Francisco Fireboat Ride event. So far we have 18 spots. We've distributed 8 tickets for that, for a total of donations so far of $2,400. By the way, there are 10 tickets left if anybody wants to go. So basically, what this is you get on the San Francisco Fireboat in San Francisco. Riding with you is Most Worshipful Jeff Wilkins and his wife, and then you take a ride on the San Francisco Fireboat. We'll all in all likelihood go north of Alcatraz all the way out to the Golden Gate Bridge, spin around, come back on the south side of the island. You go through into the turning basin by where all the seals hang out by Pier 39, and they turn the boat around. You feel like a total rock star. And then you go for that. It takes about an hour and a half. Each spot is worth 15 mitts donation, or $300. So 2 tickets on this would be a $600 donation. And that's one of the big movers that we've had so far in our fundraising efforts. So you'll be in good company. Again, Most Worshipful Jeff Wilkins and his wife are attending as our brothers from Morningstar Lodge. Me and my son are going, and then as well as members from Lodi Lodge so far and Ione. So we have 10 spots left. Hit me up, and I'll give you more details. There's also more events coming. Our Delta Dogs, all of our co-captains are currently planning stuff. Now we have a long way to go to get to 778 mitts. That's the equivalent of that $13,900 and something that I was telling you about. That's our goal. These big donations that we're getting from our fundraisers are really great, but the goal is going to be met with donations of all sizes. And I think a good plan of attack for this is once you consider donating 1 mitt a month. And you can do that by giving cash out today. You can do that by giving a check and mailing it in, or giving me a check. Or you can do that by going online to masonsformitts.org and going there and donating. And we also have a QR code that we can use. Brother Salonga has it right on his phone. You can literally go up to his phone, and it would take you right to the place where you could donate. And press a button and just get it done. So again, thank you for this. Our goal is 14,000. We aim to hit it, and I think we're in a position to do it. Masonry is about philanthropy, and we're moving right along to achieve that goal. So thank you, brother.
Very much. Thank you for sharing. And it's at meeton.org, right?
Oh, Masons for Mitts.
Okay. All right. Thank you. So actually, before I call Saul, I'm gonna call Diane, our Job's daughter. I didn't forget you guys. Always, yes, that's for last.
Thank you. So I'm Diane Cochran. I'm the Bethel Guardian of the Job's Daughters here in Modesto, Bethel 263. And I have with me Miss Elena, who's been a member for many moons. And this year she happens to be a Grand Bethel girl. So she's an officer representing the state of California. And then I have Mrs. Adria Sanders. I almost said Miss. And she's on our council member as promoter of hospitality. So a little bit quickly about Job's. In 2020, rotten year for everybody, we did celebrate somewhat our 100th anniversary of Job's. Our Modesto Bethel started in 1955, but like all organizations, we're all suffering membership-wise because of COVID and whatnot. I've had a lot of kids hit the age of 20, so once you hit 20, you either get on council, stay with us for life, or a lot of them have gone off to college or whatever reason, but the age that they can join now is 10 years old. We do have a Job's Daughter to Be program, and we take 8 and 9-year-olds, but we haven't had any meetings in a while, so we're really working on encouraging, trying to get our Bethel built back up again. We've had a rough couple of years. I did want to tell you one thing that the girls do statewide is a philanthropic project every year. And during that horrid COVID year, we were doing what's called Cases for Ryan. And we were making pillowcases for children in the hospital's pediatric units. And so we were supposed to be getting together with our kids and teaching them how to sew. So we did do one time that we got the kids together and we spread them way out, away from each other, because otherwise we just weren't able to do that. But that was fun. We donated, gosh, I think we made a total 150 pillowcases. Not the kids, but you know. But that was fun. But this year's project for the California State Jones Daughters is called Covenant Homes, and it's an organization. I think they're in both Southern California and maybe the Bay Area, San Francisco, right? And so they help kids that are transitioning out of foster care. So once they hit 18, they're done. But they still need help. They need help on some skills and training and so on and so forth. So these Covenant Homes help these kids transition a little bit more into adulthood. So that's what the Grand Guardian has picked as her project this year that we're doing. We will be going to Grand Bethel in person this year, so that's exciting. We didn't get to do that with the kids for 2 years in a row. So, and we are fundraising we're selling, what do I have here? Here it is. These wooden monograms. It's kind of a cool idea. My friend at Merced, she did that with her Bethel, and they were very successful. So you can come by our table and check out the order form. Does anybody have anything else they'd like to say? Did I forget anything? Anyway, thank you for your time.
Oh, thank you so much. And now I'm going to call on Mr. Saul Silverman, please. He is from Masonic Homes or Masonic Outreach Service.
Thanks so much, Romy. Thank you, Modesto Lodge, for having me. My name is Saul Silverman. I'm the manager of Masonic Assistance with Masonic Homes of California and Masonic Outreach Services. And so today, I'm going to provide an overview of all of the services that we provide under the umbrella of services for Masonic Homes. So, I don't know if everybody can see this, but these are all of the services that I'm going to discuss today, and I am going to give you guys a ton of information. I promise it's not your job to memorize all of this, that's our job. I have brochures in the back that I'm going to leave here so you guys can take. You can also all be here for some time and you can come talk to me. And then if there's one thing that you take away from this presentation, it's that if you ever need help or you're just curious about services, call my team, Masonic Assistance. So we're gonna talk about that program. We're gonna talk about the Masonic Homes. There's 2 of them, one in Union City, and then one in Southern California in Covina. We'll talk about Masonic Outreach Services, so Masonic Senior Outreach Services, Masonic Family Outreach Services, Distressed Worthy Brother Fund, Shared Housing, and Lodge Outreach. And then I'll also discuss the Masonic Center for Youth and Families. You guys can interrupt me if you have questions. So, the Masonic Assistance Team, what we do, we're the central intake team for the Masonic Homes and Masonic Outreach Services. So you can call us if you're interested in applying to one or both of those programs. But the main thing we do is telephone consultation. So when you call us, we'll spend a bunch of time talking to you about your situation or the situation of the person that you're calling about so that we can totally understand what's happening and we can connect you to the programs and services that you might need, whether those be in your community or our programs such as Masonic Homes and Masonic Outreach Services. We often will connect members back to their lodges, like if we get a call from maybe a senior member who is a little isolated and we think they might benefit from some social visits, then we might reach out to the lodge and see if there's somebody there that can do that. We schedule lodge presentations, which is what I'm doing right now. So if you want us to come to your lodge and maybe present right before a stated meeting, we can do that. And then we get a lot of calls. So right now we're super busy. We get like 250 calls a month. And we spend a lot of time on the phone with people. So I want to warn you, you likely will get our voicemail. But that's a good thing, because if you leave us a message with your name and your phone number and the reason that you're calling, who you're calling about, then we can look that person up. We can make sure that they meet Masonic eligibility for services. We can see if we've talked to them or on behalf of them in the past. So don't be discouraged if you get our voicemail. We'll call you that day, or at the very latest, the next business day. And this, I used to be able to say this number is on the back of your dues cards, but nobody has dues cards anymore. But this number is everywhere. It's on our website, and it's on all the brochures back there. So let's talk about the Masonic homes. There are two. You guys are probably familiar with the Union City one, since that's the closest one, but we also have one in Covina. Has anybody here visited the Union City campus? So a lot of people. And then has anyone visited Covina? All right, so a few people have been down to Covina too. Great. So Union City, if you haven't been in a long time, we just did a bunch of really cool renovations to Union City, and it looks really different. So if it's been 20 years since you've been there, I really recommend that you guys go. We're doing tours again. We're finally open for tours, so definitely consider visiting. Union City is what we call a continuum of care community, which means that it offers independent living, assisted living, skilled nursing, and memory care. And then Covina offers independent living and assisted living, and we're building skilled nursing and skilled nursing with memory care on that campus, and that hopefully will be completed this year. So I'm going to talk about Masonic eligibility real quick, because many of the services for Masonic homes are for the Masonic community. But I will also mention some things that are open to everybody. So in order to move to Masonic homes, you have to be a California Master Mason who is 60 and over, and who's been in good standing for at least the last 5 consecutive years before applying. That's really important. Don't let your dues lapse. You don't want to get suspended for non-payment of dues, because then even if you get reinstated, your 5 years starts over again. So it's really important to remain in good standing. And then you also can be the spouse, widow, or sometimes the mother of that Mason. So there are 2 different ways that people pay for the homes. The easy one is, or the simple one is called fee for service, and that's like any other facility where you're paying monthly for rent and care. And if you want to do that, there are minimum income and asset requirements you have to meet. So as a result, most folks will do what's called a partial assignment of assets, and that's where you assign 75% of your income and your assets to the home. You retain 25%. If you do a partial assignment of assets, you can't have gifted away any assets within the 3 years prior to applying. That's our gifting look-back period. And then you can't have more than $2,000 in unsecured debt. Unsecured meaning, like, if you have an asset that you can sell to pay off your debt, then that's secured. So if you truly have unsecured debt, then we can support you through Masonic outreach services, through financial assistance, and I'll talk about that program. But the great thing about the partial assignment of assets is that you can do it if you have $1 million in assets, or if you have $1 in assets. So many people come to us, and maybe they've even been on Masonic outreach services and been receiving financial support. They don't have any assets remaining, and then they're able to move in, and we can take care of them for the rest of their lives. So I want to just really quickly mention that there are some services that are available on the Masonic Homes Union City campus that are open to everyone. So if you want rehabilitation, so short-term rehab in our skilled nursing facility, that's available to everyone. You don't have to be a member to receive that service. And then we also just finished this brand new building called the Pavilion, which is high assisted living and memory care. It's a really nice new state-of-the-art building. And we accept both members and non-members into that building. Yes. So you know where Acacia Creek is? It's right next to Acacia Creek. Yeah. But yeah, if you haven't been in a while, it's really nice to come see the pavilion. And then also we're in the process. We just remodeled our Adams building, which hadn't been remodeled since the 70s, and it looks great. And it also is now state of the art. And then we're in the process of remodeling our Wallenberg building, which is our memory care building, and that will be done this year. The greatest thing about all these remodels and building more is that we can serve more members now. It's a big deal. So oftentimes this is the first question that we get: how long is the wait to get into Masonic homes? And what I'll say is that the wait times are always changing. So what I say today may be different in a month or two from now. So if you're curious, when you're ready, just call us and ask, and you can always check in, even if you're not ready to move, just to, if you're curious about what the wait times are. But what I'll say is today, I would estimate that for Covina, it's less than a year probably, which is a big deal because it used to be 3 years wait to get into the home. And for pretty much every care level in Union City, I would say it's probably also less than a year. Some of that depends on whether or not the construction goes well and ends when it's supposed to end. But the longest wait is if you're a single applicant and you require independent living, then that's probably 1 to 2 years would be my estimate for that care level. But anything else, we have availability right now for couples. So if you started the application process and you got everything done quickly, and then you got on the waiting list, you could move pretty quick. So it's just something to consider. And then if for some reason you do have to wait and you have an immediate need for care, like to move to a home, then again, we can help through Masonic Senior Outreach Services, which I'll discuss soon, or right now. So Masonic Outreach Services, you'll hear us talk about Masonic Senior Outreach Services and Masonic Family Outreach Services. Masonic Senior Outreach Services is for those who are 60 and over. And we do 2 primary services. One we call care management, and then the other one is called financial care management. So for care management, that's like case management. So if you need somebody to help you connect to resources in your community, apply for programs and benefits to which you might be entitled, we can help. If you need help doing care planning, we can help. That's not a program that's just for people who have run out of money and need help. This is for anybody who needs our guidance and support, and there's no time limit for those services, so we'll help for as long as you need it. If you require financial care management is our financial assistance program. And for Masonic Senior Outreach Services, we provide ongoing financial support when there's a financial need. So sometimes this looks like maybe you're not moving to Masonic homes because you want to remain in your community, right? Because it's not all that close. But you need to live in a facility. If you don't have any more assets and you can't afford to pay for the facility, we can help you pay for it, and we can do so ongoing. That's the biggest part of the program that has had a huge, tremendous impact on people's lives because we've helped for years and years with financial support. And then care managers will help to apply again for other programs and services to which you might be entitled, so that we can reduce the amount of charitable support that we need to provide, so that we can spread it out and make sure we're helping as many people as possible. And then if you do receive financial assistance, you sign what's called an agreement to repay the program. And the only time that you would be expected to repay is if you have assets. So usually that's because somebody, is struggling to pay their bills, but they're living in their home and they own their home. Then when they sell their home, they would repay us. So if you have an asset, it's more like an interest-free loan. But if you don't have any assets, then there would be no expectation for repayment. And then if you require a skilled nursing level of care, that's something that Masonic Outreach Services doesn't pay for because Medi-Cal will pay for that. So again, we're trying to make sure that we're wise stewards of your charitable dollars. So eligibility for Masonic Senior Outreach Services. So you have to be 60 and over. And for care management, so again, the case management services, you just have to be a California Mason or the spouse or widow or his minor children or dependent children. There's not a length of membership required. You don't have to be like a 5-year Master Mason. And you can even be living in another state. So if you're a California Mason, but you're living in Nevada, we can support you through that program. We can also do that for financial care management, so for financial assistance. For financial assistance, you have to be a California Master Mason who's been in good standing for at least the last 5 consecutive years, or the wife, widow, or sometimes the mother of that Mason. So it's the same eligibility for Masonic homes. And you need to demonstrate a financial need, so usually that means that you have less than $2,000 remaining in liquid assets, and people often get scared at that thought because that means that they're spending down their nest eggs. So you would call us before you spend down so that we can provide case management services and help you get to the point where you're applied for and approved for our services, so we can step right in, and so there's not a lapse in the services that you receive. And then there's also the same gifting policy, so you can't gift it away any assets within the 3 years prior to applying. I know this is far away, but just in case anybody wants to move, we have a really cool program on the Covina campus called Shared Housing. It's part of Masonic Outreach Services, and it's a senior co-housing house. So it's this really big, fully renovated house. This is the picture of the swanky kitchen inside the house. Everybody gets their own private space, and then there's a really nice kitchen, 2 living rooms, and it's co-housing, so it's kind of like a co-ed frat house. And so if you're 62 plus and you meet the requirement for Masonic Senior Outreach Services, so you don't have a ton of assets, and you have the ability to pass a fingerprint clearance, and you're open and interested in living with other people, then you might be appropriate for this program, and it really is cool. It's a very unique thing that's happening down there in Covina. So now I'm going to talk about Masonic Family Outreach Services. So these are the services that are available to Masons who are under 60. So again, care management is the same. There's not a length of membership required, and we can provide case management services, help you connect to resources, help you apply to programs, help you with planning. Sometimes people just get overwhelmed with like financial planning, and they need a little bit of help with that. If we can help you to increase your income by applying to the benefits and programs to which you might be entitled, and then help you to reduce your expenses, then you might be able to be self-sufficient, right? Sometimes people aren't in financial crisis, but they just need help. Maybe they have a child who is suffering from emotional wellness issues, and they just need, referral to resources and things like that. And again, there's no time limit for those services, so we'll help for as long as you need them. For financial care management for Masonic Family Outreach Services, the program is different. So whereas with Masonic Senior Outreach Services, we provide ongoing financial support, with Masonic Family Outreach Services, we provide one-time financial support when there is a financial need and as a bridge to self-sufficiency. So the example that I often use for this is, maybe a member has lost his job and he is, he's interviewing, he finds a new job, and he will start in, a month, and then 3 weeks after that, he's going to get his first paycheck. Well, in those 2 months, he now can't pay his rent, he can't pay for his utilities, and he's going to fall behind, right? So that's a perfect example of where we can provide one-time financial assistance to help him for those 2 months, so then he can be self-sufficient once he gets his first paycheck. And eligibility is similar. So again, this is the family outreach. So if you're under 60, you're a California Mason, or the spouse or widow or minor or dependent children of the Mason, then you can receive case manager and care management services. And you can live here or in another state as long as you're a California Mason. And then for financial assistance, you need to be a 5-year California Master Mason in good standing for at least the last 5 consecutive years for the wife, widow, or mother of that Mason. And I know, again, I'm giving you guys a ton of stuff. It doesn't all apply to everybody right now, but it's still good to know what services are available. Tell your families about this stuff, because you never know. If your adult children may not know what services are available to you, and if you don't tell them, and for whatever reason you're not able to tell, to call us, then they'll not know to call us, right? So the next program I want to talk about is called the Stress-Worthy Brother Fund, and this is a program that we launched during the pandemic to help people who are struggling financially due to the pandemic, but now it can serve to help people who are suffering from the pandemic now, or any other disaster. So if we should have, a wildfire that displaces somebody, they may be able to apply for this program. The Stress-Worthy Brother Fund, again, provides care management, so it helps connect to resources, apply for benefits, and then it can provide short-term financial assistance if someone meets the eligibility requirement. What's unique about the Stress-Worthy Brother Fund is that it's available to any Mason in good standing who's in California. So you could be a member in another jurisdiction, another state, another country, as long as you live here in California and you're in good standing, then you may be eligible for our support through this program. And again, California Masons who are living elsewhere in other states can also receive this support. So I'm next going to talk about the Masonic Center for Youth and Families. This is the way that Masonic Homes now serves youth. Some of you may recall that we used to have children's homes down at the Covina campus. Those were closed just because there wasn't a demand for that service anymore, and so they shifted gears and they opened the Masonic Center for Youth and Families. There's 2 locations. There's one in San Francisco in the Presidio, and there's one on the Covina campus. And so Masonic Center for Youth and Families, or MCYF, provides a bunch of services. They do therapy, they provide support groups, stress management services, they do evaluation and assessments, and they do a new service, thanks to the pandemic, called telehealth. Telehealth is where you receive emotional wellness or mental health services over the computer or over the phone. So the primary services for MCYF are to serve children and their families, and so they'll provide services to folks who need, behavioral or emotional, who have behavioral or emotional needs, and they'll support both the child and the family in developing, a care plan to ensure that they receive the support they need in their community. You don't have to live in San Francisco to receive these services, because you can go there, visit one time, do the intensive assessment that they do, and then they'll set you up with services in your community. And then for telehealth, that's not just for children. So any Mason can also tap into those services, and we can provide counseling over the internet or over the phone, if that's something that you're interested in. And for MCYF, those services are available both to the Masonic community and to everybody else. And so for MCYF, they offer their services on a sliding scale, and people will not be turned away for an inability to pay. And then the one thing to note about MCYF is that whereas those other services you call My Team, MCYF has its own intake program with a different phone number. But if you just remember my number, that's fine, and we'll connect you to MCYF. I promise I'm almost done. This is the last program that I want to talk about. So, Lodge Outreach. Are there any Lodge Outreach training coordinators here? Okay, this is a good group then to tell about this program. Okay, so Lodge Outreach is a program that Masonic Outreach Services started maybe 6 years ago. It started down in Division 9 in San Diego area because the guys down there said, we feel like we want to connect with our senior members. Maybe they're isolated, they're not coming to Lodge, but we don't really know how, and we don't really know what to say. You guys are social workers, teach us how to do it. And we said, that's a great idea, let's do that. So what we did is we developed a Lodge Outreach Training Coordinator Program where we train members or their families, if the family is interested in doing this, to do outreach within their lodges and within their communities. And so we teach you all about the programs and services that I'm telling you about now, and we teach you how to connect to members and things that we've learned from other lodges and districts that work. So this is now California-wide. We come to every division every quarter, and we're going to be in Division 4, which is your division. On June 18th, we're going to be in Elk Grove. So if your lodge doesn't have a Lodge Outreach Training Coordinator and you think that it might be beneficial, you can give me your email address and I can give you this information, or you can have them call us and we can connect them to the Lodge Outreach Program. We would really love to have your participation. We get a ton of referrals for services through Lodge Outreach. It's one of the main ways that we're able to identify the members who are in need. Otherwise, there's too many people for MLS to keep eyes on, so we rely on your boots on the ground to connect to your members and to refer them to us. And then just one more time, here's the number, but again, I have cards back there, brochures. I'm going to leave the brochures here. If you want brochures for your lodge, email us. We can mail you a bunch of brochures. Anything that you think we can help with, please don't hesitate to call us or email us. Did anybody have any questions, or is that enough for today? Great. I'm done. Thank you so much for listening to all that, and yeah, please don't hesitate to come back and talk to me if you're interested today.
No, thank you so much. What an information that we rarely hear, and we seldom hear this kind of information. And thank you, Saul, for coming down and give us this all information. And don't forget, there's brochures on his table over there, and some of those we're gonna leave it here to our lodge, and then I'm gonna bring that to the different lodges that we have here in District 442. So I'd like to thank the widow's son who is here today and showing their support to our family event. And also I'd like to thank the lodges that comprises the Smyrna, Turlock, Patterson, and Modesto 206. Again, thank you very much, and I would like to let you know that Worshipful Ryan will be in charge for the pool tournament, dart tournament, and we have bingos, and some other games that you might want to have during this event. And I would like to call on Worshipful 1. Worshipful.
Hello everybody, thank you very much for coming out today and enjoying this that's such a pretty cool event we have today. You know, I didn't expect so many people to be coming out today. So many different people, from many different locations. We have the Bay Area, we have the Valley, and it's really awesome. I would like to actually go ahead and say we are going to have some food out here for you all. You know, it's something we always do. You know, right? You'll find Masons, you'll find food, right? All right, so I'd like to introduce our kitchen staff. Come on, guys.
Guys, yeah,
They're still busy cooking this food. I should have known it was
Brother Steve.
We have here our wonderful kitchen staff that has prepared our food for today. We have, from the left to the right, we have our brother Stephen Stanfield, we have brother Edmund Martinez, and we have worshipful Marshall Guller, past master. You listen to that. Yeah, thank you very much for this. And I think
Worshipful, if you can sing 2 songs, we'll be ready by then.
Only two?
Only
Please don't sing. We heard you before.
I think we're ready for the food now. So give me just 1 second and we'll get y'all going, okay?
Let us pray. Sovereign author of the universe, we pay to you the sincere homage of our fervent gratitude for all the blessings which your infinite goodness has bestowed upon us. Aid us in advancing the purposes and attaining the true objects of genuine mission. And we seek thee to bless the food and drink that we are about to share, that it may give us strength, wisdom, and courage to obey the law that has been written in the volume of the second law and given to us by the great architect of the age. Amen.
So will it be? Today, look at the parking lot.
May pa-jaguar pa eh. Ano yung kay Oscar? Ah, ang galing ah. Oh, may bubbles ha. Maganda yung pet nun. May bubbles. Ang galing na ng music. Ang daming music ah.
Who's winning? Okay, it is a practice.
It's actually
I'm playing dart. Okay, we have one player. Ay, ano ka? Hindi nga ako kumakanta eh.
we could break through it. If only to just one. We can get to it.
Samahan kita.
Isang beses